God's Building Blocks, Lesson 1. How far away from God are we choosing to live? An easy way to tell is to ask ourselves how detached we are from the most basic knowledge of His design of us. Nothing is more basic than food and water, yet there isn't much that we complicate more. We've let our common sense be corrupted by profit-driven corporations that manufacture our food and drink and lie to us about what we need. What does God say we need? The Bible says, they order people to abstain from certain foods which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and who know the truth. For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving, because it is consecrated by the word of God and prayer. 1 Timothy 4:3-5. Key words being everything God created, not what mankind creates in a laboratory, thinking we can do better than God. We were designed rightly by God. That's it, the big secret that the big corporations want you to forget. And by His design, our bodies run on nutrients, not on man-made chemicals and over-processed fake foods. There are macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are the nutrients your body needs in larger amounts, protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Micronutrients are the nutrients your body needs in smaller amounts, vitamins and minerals. Let's focus on vitamins and minerals. These are essential nutrients, most of which our bodies can't make, so the only way to get them is through food. The standard information you hear is that industrialized countries don't have vitamin deficiencies. Supposedly, we get all the vitamins and minerals we need from a balanced diet, including fruits and vegetables and fortified grains. But when you dig deeper, what do the experts admit? That micronutrient intake in the general public has wide variations, and there are groups that don't get enough. The question then becomes, should we be talking about micronutrient insufficiency, if not deficiency? In other words, how common is it to not get enough, and how much does it matter? There are 3 important points here. First, the experts can't agree on how much we need. They don't know for sure what equals an ideal amount of vitamins and minerals versus not enough. Second, people aren't all the same. We are individuals with different nutritional needs based on gut health, age, sex, lifestyle, our genetics, and whether or not we already have an illness. Third, what researchers who dive deeper into this subject, rather than accepting the status quo, do know is that our modern diet does not contain the amount of nutrients our ancestors consumed. One researcher was a dentist named Weston A. Price, who traveled the world in the 1930s to study the dental and overall health of cultures who were still consuming their traditional diets and hadn't yet completely transitioned to modern foods. He would compare people in a culture who were eating their traditional foods to people of the same culture who had changed to the modern processed food diet. What he found was incredible. There were drastic differences in dental structure, overall health, and incidence of disease. He found the same differences in cultures all over the world, despite the wide variety of foods found in traditional diets. Those diets were all very different, but what they all had in common was a very high nutrient level. His test results showed that traditional diets contained 4 times more minerals and 10 times more fat-soluble vitamins A, D, and K. Modern researchers say that depending on the group studied, our ancestors consumed anywhere from 1.5 to 8 times more vitamins and minerals than we do with our processed Western diet. So it makes sense to assume that those of us eating a modern processed food diet are not getting optimal levels of micronutrients. But how much does that matter? If a person has a serious vitamin or mineral deficiency, they will have obvious symptoms. But if they fall in the range between ideal amounts and a deficiency, if they simply aren't getting enough,
the problem will be less obvious but still harmful, with long-term consequences including an increased risk of heart disease and cancer. Stop and think about God's design of us. These micronutrients are the building blocks vital to every system in our bodies. Is it an accident that vitamins and minerals are involved in every aspect of our bodily functions? A partial list includes energy production, brain and nervous system function, immune system function, chronic disease prevention, wound healing, digestion, building and repair of cells, regulating body fluids, muscle strength, vision, nerve signaling, processing toxins, and making hormones. Symptoms of not getting enough micronutrients include tiredness, weakness, poor immunity, impaired brain function, glandular dysfunction, hormone imbalance, bone loss, elevated homocysteine levels, which is a risk factor for blood clots, dementia, heart attack, heart disease, osteoporosis, and stroke, vision impairment, muscle cramps, headache, hair loss, and sleep problems. What nagging symptoms are you dealing with day in and day out that could be caused simply by not getting enough vitamins and minerals in your diet? In the rest of this course section, we'll talk about how nutrients work together and the best sources of them. You'll be shocked to hear which foods contain the most, and happy to know you don't have to take a handful of supplement pills every day.